What's happening, fishing friends? Welcome to another episode. It's time for another unbagging. Yes, the Bank and Creek kit from over at LureNet came for, let's see, this would be May and June. They come every 2 months. So this is the May and June bag, and this is a pretty darn good one. Now, of course, I'll leave my code link below. Anything you check out over on their LureNet page, whether it's the custom baits, the bag, any of the lures over there, a whole bunch of different brands, Hedden, Yum, Norman, a whole bunch of different stuff over there. You can use my code and get a discount. So enough of that, let's get into it. First up in this one, we have the Squelcher. Now there's I have an old Booya buzzbait, I forget what it is, that I absolutely loved. And I've seen these before, and I've honestly not ever used them. I think maybe I had one and threw it for a little bit, but it's a little bit different. It's got a large blade on it, so it definitely has a lot of sound on this. And I've honestly kind of steered more toward the smaller, I'm going to say kind of finesse buzzbaits. Aren't as loud, a little bit softer of a splash to it, but on those days when you've got wind, when you need to make more of a commotion and really try to piss those fish off that are up shallow, so like right now, spawn, coming into post-spawn when they're shallow again, this will be perfect. This is the white and chartreuse. Post-spawn, if you're not throwing some sort of bluegill color, green pumpkin with some chartreuse, anything with a little bit of chartreuse, you're missing out. Throw bluegill color baits post-spawn. Trust me, you will be happy. And that includes spinner baits, swim jigs, chatter baits, and even something like this. Little white and chartreuse, I think will work well. Speaking of Norman, we got a little crankbait in here. I like these. Norman, man, they're one of those that have been forgotten about, I feel like. I used to have a bunch of the old Normans, bombers, bandits, stuff that back in the day used to be really popular. You could get them, they seemed to be like the in-shelf things. You could find good deals. But anyway, this is the Norman. This is what, the 6 to 8 foot diameter. And this color they call Evo or Evu. It's like a green. I mean, this is talk about a perfect little bluegill imitator. Look at that. It's got the green pumpkin, a little bit of that purple shimmer on the back like bluegill have, a little bit of that color there. Maybe if it just had a little orange on it, but whew, that one will definitely have no issue getting bit, especially on the ends of those points or little drop-offs where some of those post-spawn bass are going to eat. That is going to be a fish catcher. Sticking with the Norman cranks, again, another 6 to 8 foot. This is the Bama Shad. So you can see there, kind of similar colors, kind of the bluish hue on the top, going into some yellow with that shad spot, pearl on the belly. It's got a little bit of red on the throat. Does have that cool sparkle, that glitter, and the fish scales on it there. I like the detail, and I like that they do a number of custom colors, where I think they do like a run of 300 on some of these. So that's pretty cool, and they've made it so you can buy these separately now. You don't have to buy just the bag. Like if there's a cool crank or topwater that's a custom color, custom run, you can go out and buy those separately. So I think that was a smart decision for them to do. That way, if you really like one, you don't have to buy the whole bag. That's kind of cheesy. Another spinner bait, there's a good chance you've thrown this. Walmart had these. I've thrown a number of these, and all white one of these has caught a number of fish for me. But this is the Booya, what is it? Booya blade. I was going to say Beyblade, whole different thing. Booya blade. So you can see there are just 2 willow leaves, and I honestly don't get super crazy on the blades. They say the willow blades like this mimic small shad better. Once you get to like the Colorado blades, they can mimic bluegill better. They sound like it. I really kind of look at the action or the amount of thump that I want. Willow blades are going to have the least. The bigger, rounder you get, the more thump they're going to have. So really, really dirty water, I go to like a big Colorado blade. Something in between if it's kind of dirty water, but that's a great color there. Kind of that chartreuse shad, they call it. Okay, holy smokes, we've got 18 million plastics in here. Wow, okay, so we've got the finesse worm. Nothing too crazy about this one. This is a really good color though. What do they call this? GB Haze. I like this. I got these in some of the lizards last year. Caught some fish on them. But it's like your trick worm. Nothing too crazy. And this is the smaller 4-inch size, Yum 4. It's a little tiny finesse worm. Good as a little shaky head or dare I say drop shot. This is one that I don't know that I have ever thrown. Let me see if I can single one out. This is the Craw Pappy. So you can see there the 2 little claws, small slender body. This would be a really good finesse jig type of plastic. I don't know that I've ever thrown this thing though. Looks good. Has that good crawfish profile to it. Nothing too crazy. Looks like it's got like a couple little ridges on the outside, so I'm sure those claws flap. But yeah, that'd be a great little finesse jig trailer. That finesse worm, they've got the jig heads for it. So you've got a little shaky head here. These are 1/8 ounce, some of the War Eagles. Throw that on and they threw in the Booya Boo Jig. So a little 1/4 ounce. This is green pumpkin with some green flake in it. I thought that. Here, that's got rattles in it too. I thought I just noticed that. But a little jig. I usually cut these when I want to have a finesse jig. I usually cut these down to the skirt about the size of the hook, right there where the hook bend is. Cut it down to there. That's a good little finesse jig. And this is kind of a hybrid. It's not a round ball head. It's a pointed. So you can still flip it around bush, you can still swim it. Good little finesse jig there. Next up, one that'll be great right now as fish are getting shallow up in that grass and stuff, a fluke. Fluke is something I've definitely worked more over the years. You know, I would throw it, then not. And honestly, I'd kind of gone more to just a stick bait and kind of forgotten about the fluke. But if you've got bait fish on the edge of grass, the fluke is awesome because it kind of does this spiral around. It looks like a dying bait fish. So when you pop it, it does this like it's trying to survive, and they're just spiraling down like a dead fish. Anyway, yeah, fluke is awesome on the edges of grass. That's where I tend to do the best with one of these, throwing it in the pockets around that. This will be perfect if you have shad spawn. This color is pearl white. Love me a fluke. And the last plastic they have in here is one that I am not going to use for what they say here. What do they say? Drop shot jig head, great on a drop shot or finesse worm hook. No. This is the warning shot, and I knew guys that were throwing this as, I'm going to spoil it, a chatterbait trailer. And this is where guys were taking flipping baits like a Reaction Innovations Sweet Beaver, cutting that in half, having the flat side of it just like this, and using that as a chatterbait trailer. Works great as a bank angler when I'm just carrying some flipping stuff. It's been last year, beginning of this year, I didn't have any trailers, cut one in half. It works awesome. It's got a flat side to it. It's got that pointed tail back there, sits straight up like this, vibrating back there. Looks great in the water as a chatterbait trailer. Now you could use it for the other things that they're saying here, drop shot and all that stuff, but by far my favorite way to rig these or baits like this is as a chatter trailer. Oh, one more Norman in here. This is the last thing in the bag. Like I said, a good bag, good stuff of baits in here. I wish some of the hard baits would have had a little bit more contrast to them, a little bit different look. They're all kind of that white, darker top, but all of them very good looking. This is the Harvest Moon color, really like that. Again, the 6 to 8 foot diver, the Baby N. Great little lure there and a great color. Look at that. Got that color up here. Again, this could easily mimic a bluegill. Got that blue shine up into the dark back. That is a beautiful color there. And again, I like that they've made it so you can get these separately. You don't have to buy the whole bag. Unless you do, I mean, that's a darn good bag. So comment below and let me know out of those, which one is your favorite. Oh, forgot how to talk. For the way I fish around here, I think it's going to be these three that are going to be winners. A spinnerbait post-spawn is awesome. I wish it was a bluegill color because they seem to crush that, but still like that color in dirty water, which we have a lot of around here. This 6 foot diver is going to be great when some of those fish move off the ends of those points. 6 to 8 foot is kind of my favorite. And remember, you can adjust how deep this is going to go with your line. So if you really want it to get as close to that 8 foot as you can, use a lighter, small diameter line, like if you're using fluorocarbon, 8 pound we'll say, or if you want to keep it up, you could use 15, 12, something like that. It's going to stay higher in the water column. So you can dictate how deep it goes just by the line. And this one, I'm telling you, if you've not tried it as a chatterbait trailer, it rocks. Those are going to be the ones that'll get bit around here. Now, subscribe fishing friend. Today's friend, we got Sir Mikey. He said, love the bank fishing videos. I learn a lot from them. Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. I will be doing more bank fishing soon. Going to be doing some more kayak fishing. And actually, another shout out, my guy Fishing Bass Brazil, Mauricio, we're going to have him on soon. I need to hit him up to give us a perspective of bass fishing in a different country down in Brazil. I was on his show some time ago now, and we need to get him on because it was a lot of really, really cool talk. I'm very familiar with Brazil. Used to be huge into jiu-jitsu, and it's a very beautiful place. So we'll get him on sometime soon. I've got a couple other fun guests lined up for the Saturday Night Lives. That's it. I got to get editing, so love y'all. Thanks for watching. Until next time.